Hello guys, so here I am performing the Big 5 workout as laid out in the book Body by Science by Doug McGuff and John Little. The very first movement that I am doing is a horizontal push movement, the incline bench press. Since I am not working with machines over here and I am working with free weights, there are a few points to be kept in mind. As you can see, I am trying to take each exercise to failure using one single set. But there's a problem when you're using free weights. Over here, as I'm reaching perceived muscular failure, I cannot complete the positive part of the movement all on my own. What I might have reached may not be muscular failure, but it may be a sticking point. A sticking point is a point of mechanical difficulty or disability when you think you might have worked your muscle entirely, but simply you are unable to move the load. You may not have reached true muscular failure. So over here I put the weight down and rest for a few seconds before I do another rest pause set. Now what is a rest pause set? Basically I'm going to carry on using the same weight. It's a set extender which enables one to take the muscle to failure. So here as you can see I've got the first rep, but on the second rep I cannot complete it. So what I do is I perform a static hold. I hold the weight until my chest can no longer support the weight. Only then I think it's probable I might have reached true muscular failure. So I put down the weight once more and I'll rest for a couple of seconds before I proceed to the next exercise, which will be a horizontal pull movement. Now it's essential to rest for a couple of seconds between exercises, otherwise your muscles won't be doing the work and you will be turning the workout into an endurance episode instead of a muscle building one. So here I am readjusting the weights and then I will be doing the barbell row, bent over barbell row. As I was filming this exercise, or rather this workout session all on my own, therefore sometimes the video quality might be less than optimal, for which I sincerely beg your pardon. So here I'm performing the bent over barbell row. Once again I am moving slowly as possible. The cadence which is stated by Body by Science is super slow, stating a 10 seconds positive and a 10 seconds negative. But as I am trained with free weights, I have not been able to master that cadence yet. So instead, I am going for a cadence of 3 seconds on the positive and 3 seconds on the negative. But what I always try to ensure is that my muscles are doing all the work and I am not using any momentum. Sometimes people have the tendency to use momentum to complete a given number of repetitions. If you ever feel that urge, please resist that urge, because that's harmful on two counts. Firstly, when you are using momentum to lift the weights, your muscles are not doing the work and those repetitions are getting wasted. Secondly, while using momentum, if you are jerking and tugging at the weights, what might happen is you might injure yourself. So do not use momentum. Rather, what I would suggest is when you are reaching muscular failure, keep contracting against the weight. Even if you can't move it, try to keep contracting. The next exercise which I perform over here is a vertical push movement, the overhead press. Once again, I'm trying to use a 3 by 3 cadence, 3 seconds on the positive and 3 seconds on the negative or the eccentric part. As you reach muscle failure, do not jerk the weight in an attempt to get it up. Instead, try to push yourself, try to push your body forward a bit so that your shoulder can keep on walking with a little additional support, especially if you do not have a spotter with you who will push the weight up. Once again, on reaching perceived muscular failure, I put the weight down, rest for a couple of seconds before I do another set extender or a rest pause, as you can see here. Maybe if you're working with machines, you don't need a set extender, but if you're working with free weights, you need to do a rest pause or a drop set in order to rule out the element of not having fatigued the muscle enough. The next movement which I move to is a horizontal pull movement, which is the barbell upright row. As this is my fourth exercise, my muscles are already quite a bit fatigued. But even then, please resist the urge to use momentum and try to use your muscles to do the work instead. Once again over here, those of you who have access to gym machines, it will always be a better option to do this kind of workout using machines, because then the time taken will be much less, and secondly you don't have to go for the set extenders. But over here, since there is an element of reaching sticking points, it would always be a good idea to do a set extender. Once again, I'm resting here. I'm pretty fatigued by now. Before I go into the rest pause set, when you perceive that your muscles can no longer move the weight properly and you cannot even contract your muscles any further, when you can't move the weight, you have to keep on contracting your muscles against the load. But when you can't do that, you have reached failure. As you can see over here, I cannot even contract my muscles against the load even though I am trying. So I understand that I have reached muscular failure. The last exercise that I did in this workout is the squat. Now for the squat, since I perform it without the aid of a squat rack, I do not take the squats to failure. Instead, I stop a couple of reps shy to failure. As I was filming this workout alone, the angle at which my camera was set was not optimum to film this thing, so my apologies to my dear viewers once again. Here, what I generally do is, I stop a couple of reps shy of failure when I understand that in a 1 or 2 reps, I will not be able to take the bar off my back, or there's no one to catch me in case I fall forward or backward. So I keep on doing it until I feel that my legs are shaking from the strain of the exercise, and then I stop. To those of you who feel that you do not have enough time to train, just find out 12 to 15 minutes per week and give this workout routine a try. You will see that you will be able to maintain some degree of body composition, and apart from that, you might stimulate some additional muscular growth too. And that's the beauty of the workout laid out in Body by Science. Take care. See you in my upcoming vlogs.